Well, this is the barn laid out. Got it all cut. I just have to make the front walls. There's the roof joists and the floor joists. There's the rest of the floor joists. And that's the front of the barn. This is the side of the barn. And this wide opening right here is going to be the doorway for the livestock to get in and out of the stall. All this is salvage material from that old mobile home we cleaned off the property. Used every bit of my screws that I had, so far this hasn't cost me a cent. This is the floor and the joists that I used out of the floor joists, the floors and rafters for the barn. I'm prefabricating it here on this site because I'm going to be moving it over here on the other side of the pond up in the clear area. I want everything close to the saw so I can be able to cut my angles and stuff like that, and try to figure out what angles I need, what lengths I need. I'm trying to keep the wall span and each roof span around 4 feet to minimize the spans, because I've got a lot of that. Is it 10 and 12 foot corrugated sheet metal salvaged from an old roof that I'm using as the roof and exterior walls on the barn. So far, just salvaging the material and screws to put it together. I may be into this for a total of about $10. The barn, as you can see, is 12 feet by 14 feet. I have but there will be the front. I'll have a window right in here and a door right here, but you got to imagine this roof is coming up from the floor 4 feet, and there's the wall structures already built, the sidewall. I managed to use this cool radial arm saw that I got to borrow from some friends of mine that's allowing me to do all the miter cuts and angle cuts. I can even rip with that sucker. That's pretty cool. So that salvage material, zero cost to me except for maybe $10 in screws. Built me a barn and a chicken coop. And then there's the sheet metal. There's the pile I showed you earlier. That's all the sheet metal I'll be cutting into 4-foot lengths and putting it on the walls and barn. And then the same thing, it's going to go, I have enough material. I did my calculations and figured I have enough material to even do the chicken house. The barn will be going across the pond right up into that area right there. There's a nice clear semi-level area up there. That's where I'm going to place the barn. It's kind of in the center of the 300-foot by 300-foot pasture that I'm going to fence off for the livestock. This is staked out for a cross fencing here. I just have it staked out. I got to still buy the fence post. But that goes 300 feet across, then it goes 300 feet back, and then from that back cross fence line's another 300 feet to the back of my property line. I don't anticipate letting the livestock go up into the tall timber area. I don't want them eating the bark off of those trees and killing them. I'll keep those trees and keep that area as natural as possible. Here's the barn. There's where it was sitting. I prefabricated it there because my saw was over there. And then I finally had to clear the brush over here and put the barn together. And there it is. There's the barn. I did this all by myself. I had no help. I even put the roof up by myself. There you go. That's the goat stall. There's the door over there. This is the main floor. in the front of the barn. It's pretty tall. And then there's the goat barn. There's all the corrugated tin roofing I salvaged off of the ranch. I'm going to use that for the siding and the roof of the barn and the chicken coop. Okay, the barn is framed. And the sun's setting, so I finished the framing. The back window goes there. And that space right there. On the inside will be a loft area to store my hay. This will be all the goat area right here. And then the floor will be my people area. Stanchion over there, a grain storage feed over there, and grain can over there. So, front door. All this material is free. The windows were free. The door was free. The milk crates were free. There are 2x3s were free. 2x8s were all free. The cement blocks were all free. I didn't buy any of this stuff. Even the corrugated metal that I'm going to be screwing to the side of it is all free. Okay. All the siding is up except for that one piece. It's too high up. I don't have a ladder. I've managed all the siding by myself. Framed the barn by myself. Put all the siding up here. Managed to get that up using milk crates. There they are. Just stack them and give me some elevation so I can get up there. And then I just stand up right here to get up the higher places and get all the angles cut. Okay. Show you my jury rig. Since I don't have another set of hands to hold that, I built these little pieces right there to hold the piece up. Take you inside and let you see that. Just a couple of screws, 2 pieces of plywood, a couple of 2x3s. There you go. And then the sheet's going to fit right in there. And then over here, it's going to rest right in there. And I got it right at the right height so I can screw it in place. And then I'll trim it out when I'm done. I'll let you guys sit here and watch me break my neck. Okay. Notch in it exactly where I want. Now I gotta take a 2x4 and press that top piece in. See my cherry rig? Alright, here's my 2x4. So, use it like a hammer then. Alright, it's in place. Now I can screw it. Okay, it's right where I want it. It's gonna look good. Yep, I'll be able to screw it in place. Okay, signing off. Okay, added 2 gallons of paint, 1 for the roof, and 1 gallon to paint the whole barn. Okay, the roof is done. I have the skylight on. The doorway for the animals. And there's a skylight to let natural light in. And there is my barn. Just frame out the windows, get them set in. Paint the trim white, install the door, caulk all the holes in the old tin, touch up the paint on the outside, and then put the trim around the edges of the barn, and then the ridge cap on, and the trim along here. That'll paint it, and we will have a barn. And the next thing to work on is the corral. This is my barn. I'll eventually get goats there. There's a smaller pen. Bring you into my little barn. There's a little light I have up there. It runs on a solar panel, a 12-volt battery, and an inverter. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's my 12-volt battery. Here's my charge controller from Harbor Freight. This is my little inverter. And these are the wires coming in from the solar panels. And these wires go up. And I've got the little interior wire lights, 12-volt lights, hanging in the barn to give me light inside at night. I put a skylight in to let natural light in through the day. Oh, hello, little guy. These are a pair of Rollins I bought. They are kept in here until they're old enough. I think I can let them outside with the rest of the flock tomorrow. They should be old enough to run around. I'm going to show you my stanchion configuration I have here. This is the goat stanchion I built. This is actually the brooder with a heat lamp. And my goat stanchion is, it opens up here. And that way I can keep the goat, get a milking stool, and then milk the goat right here. She'll put her head right through here, this keyhole slot. Was able to eat from her little num-nums from that little drain bucket. I have these lofts that lock in place to keep her head in place so she doesn't back out. There's my fancy little goat stanchion. I want to get everything painted and cleaned up in here. Here's my stairs I built to go up to the little hay loft. I'll be storing hay up there. Right now I've got all my beekeeping supplies up there. And this is the manger for feeding them. They each get their own individual feed grain because the goats I've had experience with can be quite competitive. This is the duck feed barrel. This is the wood chip barrel. Here's I had raised the ducks out in here and then put them out in the main pen, but now I'm going to be cleaning this up and redoing it for the goats. This is where the goats, my two little goats that I'm getting, will go. There's their manger. I'll cut a hole in the floor right there and sink that bucket down inside the hole and mount a box, build a wooden box around the bottom side of that and put a light bulb in there, and that'll keep the box from, or the water from freezing in the winter. Trying to get well prepared. Here is the paddock, also known as the duck pen.